Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Nandini and I'll be your host for tonight. Actually, it's day. So today, it is CAT 2022 is coming up, and we at Inside IIM want to give you some guidance to all the students sitting for the exams this time. Also, for students who want to get some experience from our guest. So in this session, we'll be talking to an IIM-C Alum Batch of 2019-21 who will share his experience on why he took MBA. Why was his CAT exam? How was his CAT exam? How important was WAT-PI? And how did he get into IIM-C? How was the experience at IIM-C? And many more things. And let's start with, let's say that he had a 1-year experience before he joined IIM-C. So he'll be talking and sharing those details as well. And currently he is working at CRED, which is a credit card payment app founded by Kunal Shah. So please welcome a big warm welcome to Mr. Kaushal Nahata. Hi, Kaushal.
Hey, hi. Hi, Sunandini. Thanks a lot for the warm welcome. I apologize for the hoarse voice. I'm just dealing with some cold, general Bangalore problem. And yeah, excited to be part of here. Thanks for having me and giving me this platform to reach out to so many of your folks.
Okay. So first of all, thanks for coming even when you had your cold. And other than that, all the people, those who have more questions on CAT or anything related to it, you can ask it on the live chat and I'll take that up during the Q&A at the end of the session. So Kaushal, maybe can you tell us, you are an engineer and with an experience at L&T as a software engineer and at Axis Bank as a business analyst. So I'm going to go back to 2018 when you must have given your CAT, and I'm going to ask you the most common question that has been asked in personal interviews: why MBA? So can you just tell us what happened?
Yeah, I think my answer now and my answer then would be a bit different. But then the general idea was to get more control of the type of work that I was doing or I would be doing at that point of time. I mean, I feel like at that till that point in my life, most of the things had been at autopilot. JE, engineering, internships, placements, everything was just structured in such a fashion that I didn't have to think about what I wanted to do. But when I actually was out there, I was like, there are so many people doing so many interesting things, and I am not sure exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And that is when I thought, MBA could be a good option to give me some of that control and, leverage my position as a potential employee at multiple organizations. Plus, I had some inclination towards finance as well. I had done some courses in my undergrad, and MBA would offer me a better grip of finance, better knowledge, and help me actually, get work related to that domain as well. So yeah, that was my motivation.
Now, if I had to ask you, so this was something personal. Now, if I had to ask you, the personal interviewer who took your interview, and I'm guessing that he also or she also asked you this question. So, how did you answer that?
I mean, it was along the similar lines as well. I feel like if I'm being honest like that was my strategy as well. To be honest, to be as convincing, and to be upfront with the interview panel, so that I'm not coming off as someone who's trying to convince them of something. I'm coming off as original, right? That was the idea. So working in finance, learning more about it, getting some idea of getting some more control, being more aware of what I'm doing was how my answer was structured.
Got it. So I guess CAT is a almost 3-month prep exam for most of the people. And right now it's just 1 week to go to CAT. So I'm not going to ask you the whole preparation that you went through, but if you had to tell us maybe the last week of your preparation and how did you deal with it? Any suggestion, guidance to our audience?
So I scored around 99.64 in CAT. I think the cutoff for ABC was 99.63. So I was at the borderline. I'm not sure if I'm the best person to answer this question. But then for the last week, I would say like this is the time to wind down, to chill, to recollect your thoughts and not get pressurized by what is coming up. Right? I mean, this is a once in a year exam. and the more you think about it, the more you are constantly, engaging with it, the more the pressure is going to get to you. So my suggestion would be to just take an hour or two out of your daily routine and go through the formulas that help with solving quant questions quickly. Probably going through the DILR questions which are commonly asked. There's a set template, so most of the questions revolve around that. Going through those, and I guess the best advice would be to read. I mean, taking your time out reading, getting accustomed to the questions that come in
Hmm.
uh, verbal. So this like the last week should be used for basically these activities. One thing that I would suggest to never do is give mock at this time, because it wouldn't do you any good and can actually do you a lot of harm. So yeah.
Got it. And so you got 99.64, and like how many colleges did you get your like moved on to the next round?
I think I didn't get a call from AB and L, and outside of that, most other colleges. Uh, A and L primarily because of the CG, I'm assuming. I mean, I was at the higher sevens, but then didn't have a lot of other spikes, so probably didn't get. And B was for the work experience.
Got it. So one of the most important parts of the whole MBA roadmap is WAT-PI, as we say. So can you just tell us how important it really is, and any stories about your batchmates who scored maybe average in CAT but did really well here and got in?
I guess I would be that person because I had not scored all that good in CAT, and my PI experience was pretty decent. VAT is something that I'm not sure as to how important that was. My topic was around censorship, film censorship, and I followed the general approach, which is to keep the argument balanced,
Okay.
to against and for whatever it is, keep the general tone of the essay balanced, and that is what I did as well. PI was, I mean, I gave two interviews, Kozhikode and Calcutta. Kozhikode was centered around current affairs, and my primary source of news is Twitter. So I didn't do particularly well there. I think I got waitlisted in the first round at Kozhikode, but my experience at Calcutta, the Calcutta panel was pretty good. I mean, outside of the general experience and journey till that point, the discussion very early in the interview pivoted to my hometown, Guwahati, and the scope of development there, tourism, MNCs coming in, this and that, and it was a very open-ended. It was a very
Hmm.
discussion of sorts. So I mean, I was comfortable throughout, and yeah, had a pretty good time. They even offered me a toffee at the end, which generally considered a good sign. So
So what was IMC exactly looking for? Like in their interview rounds also, I guess your CAT score was, according to me, it was really good. But as you said, it was borderline as per you. But what else do they look for?
I think Calcutta is a land of second chances. I mean, most of the people who end up there are those who haven't done particularly well in acads, or don't have a lot of work experience to showcase what their potential is. But they are looking for people who have the potential to grab that second chance and actually do good. And that is my general sense of the people that they're looking for: showing potential, having the right mindset, and being clear of what you want to do ahead of that as well, right? Yeah.
Good. So, how many more colleges did you get into after your interview round?
So I just gave interviews for two, like I mentioned,
Okay,
Kozhikode and Calcutta. Yeah.
okay.
Then
So
sit
you
for
got
them.
in both of them.
Kozhikode was waitlist, and Calcutta I got it.
Got it. So, like, is there any spike in your whole profile? How was your 10th and 12th grade?
10th, yeah, I guess that was when CBSE had introduced the CGPA system.
Ah,
So it was a 10 there.
hmm.
12th, again, like 90, 91%. I mean, I had just crossed that border. So takeoffs there. And outside of that, uh, in my undergrad, I had a score of around 7.7, 7.8, higher sevens basically. So I'm not sure if that helped with getting me a shortlist. But yeah, that was it.
Got it. So let's talk more about maybe IMC. What kind of students do you think there are, like in terms of work ex, gender diversity, any specialization specific that IMC looks for? Maybe in your batchmates, colleagues, you found some pattern or something.
Uh, I would say it was a like the batch was very diverse. Uh, there were people from like there were CAs, there were people from economics background, there were lawyers, there were multiple like people from multiple different specialities. Uh, but again, with I think it's common across most MBA colleges, at least in India. Like majority was engineering. I think 80 to 90% of the batch are engineers, and think in terms of experience, there's a good chunk of freshers as well. It's around 25-30% of the batch are coming right out of college and joining MBA. The general work experience is spread out from like one year, which was me, to people who had even 5 years of experience. But like the majority of the people had like 2 to 3 years of experience. That was the general mix there. In terms of gender, I think there is a score that tries to normalize that as well, and I think that was around 25-30% of the batch, like the female to male ratio.
Good. So in 2019, you were finally inside IMC campus, and I just want to understand the first day. How was it when you met new people? Was there any stressful interaction, or how was the curriculum?
Uh, First day was hot. I mean, Kolkata in June is super
Oh,
humid.
okay. You're saying actually hot. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's super humid, and we are actually like you're just standing there and you're drenched in sweat. I mean, that was the first experience that I remember. But I mean, the energy, the vibe, the general enthusiasm that people have, so many expectations and so many, it took a lot of waiting to actually get there, right? So people have come with a lot of aspirations, and that is like that energy, that buzz is really something that stands out. And like this heat and all, it just takes a back seat once you're actually there. And the interactions there that I had, especially on the first day there, were like really, really incredible. Some of the friends that I made on that very first day are still some of the closest friends that I still have. So I mean, it was uh, it was a really remarkable day. And as such, Joka, as we like to call it, is a beautiful, beautiful campus. I mean, there are lakes all around, like spread across the campus, and I mean, there's a lot to soak in once you're actually there. It's a different culture, so to say. So it was really nice.
And how was the curriculum? Was it very stressful? And how much time like did it take away from your life? Basically, you were
Uh,
doing something for IMC.
yeah, the MBA curriculum, the MBA program is like very well spaced out, very well balanced. But I think the initial 4 months, which is till the summer placements, there is the pressure of placements. There's the pressure of cards. There's the pressure of and Calcutta has a great sports culture, and I mean everybody, like most of the networking, most of the peer-to-peer interaction starts or help sports really helps with that. So balancing sports, balancing just all the new people that you're meeting, and then this new life that you're trying to get accustomed to. So this all of this and balancing all of this in the first 4 months becomes stressful. I think the starting 4 months are the most stressful period of the entire program. And once you're past that placement hurdle, I think that's when life again becomes chill. You get to do a plethora of other things, most of which most people spend partying. But I mean, uh, the program as such is very well spaced out, and
Got it.
you can do a lot of things there.
Got it. So if I had to ask you to guide the people who are giving CAT now regarding how to soak up the maximum from your faculty, so what should people do to do that? Any guidance on that?
With faculty, there is like really good. I mean, the variety of courses that are on offer, and the choices that you have to take up things that you're interested in. I think that's really good. For me, like the faculty especially helped me fall back in love with academy, and that is something that I had really missed during my engineering days. I mean, uh, it's more engineering is more about scoring, getting your CG right, and studying things that you probably don't want to. It's sort of forced down, right? Doing all of those.
Hmm.
But here it's way more flexible. You are studying with the professors who are the best at what they do, right? And the passion that they bring to the classrooms, the discussions that take place within the classrooms. I think that's very intense. I think that's the best takeaway that I had from my 2 years there. Actually, learning so many things, and yeah.
So before we get into some reality checks of what happened in the management career or corporate life, I just want to go back to maybe the CAT preparation part, where we actually have someone known as General asking what should we do in the next 8 days for any specifically for VARC, LRDI, and Quant. Do you have any specific things for the next 8 days?
Like I said, I mean, for quant, I would suggest like stick to revising the core formulas, the shortcuts, so to say, that you have, and practicing few questions so that you're in touch with the rhythm that you have prepared for, say, for the past 2 3 months. So that DILR again, it's more about learning new use cases, seeing what type of questions could come in, having a mm, like trying to get a knack for solving that particular sort of questions. And VRC would again be like read fiction, read non-fiction, read as much as you can, read articles, and generally just use this time to revise most of the things that you've already done, like picking up new things in this particular part of the preparation is not a good thing to do, because there are always new things that you could be doing, and that tends to get overwhelming as and when as the exam gets closer. So this, and no mocks, please, no mocks, guys.
So why do you say no mocks? What is the reason behind this?
Primarily because, like, what is the good that you're going to get out of it? Say you are scoring decently well, you like that could be the only positive that you get out of it. And suddenly, even though you have prepared for so well, you are just so demotivated and so scared and so overwhelmed in the exam that's coming up, that you actually end up doing bad in the exam. And so there's no upside but a lot of downside. So that is the primary reason.
Got it. So let's get back to our management career and some of the reality tips. So, do you think your 1 year work ex was actually good and prepared you for the corporate world?
I'd say the year of experience definitely gave me a flavor of the corporate world, and helped me gauge what to look for in a potential employer. It also helped me get some shortlists that I wouldn't have gotten had I been a fresher. And I mean, having worked at two different places, I feel like there was there was more diversity, or I had more diverse set of skills that I could talk about in the interview that I got shortlisted for. So definitely a plus. I mean, all interviews are is like talking points with the potential employer, and the more discussion points you have, the more comfortable you are with those discussions, the better the interview goes. So definitely help. But I would say an additional year of experience would probably have prepared me better for not just the interviews, but MBA in general. I would have more clarity on what I'm trying to achieve out of this particular course and where I want to head next, stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, it did help me.
Got it.
My career
So I
better.
want to get deeper into this competition that we were talking about before placements. So, can you tell us how it was during your summer placements? So, what was the competition? What companies came? How were you fighting with your peers?
The competition is intense. I mean, a lot of people that come to MBA, like I said, people are coming with experience, people are coming with
Mm.
a lot of aspirations. So everybody is super competitive. And like the idea of, getting into IIM Calcutta ends there because now that is a common ground. Everybody is here. It's all about what you have done previously to this. And that is something that you don't have a lot of control over.
Hmm.
So having the right spikes, having the right experiences, those are the edges that help you. Like those are the things that help you edge against competitors. I came with like I had a very diverse experience, so to say. I came with the idea of fighting for seats in finance, but then there were people who had done CAs, who had done CFAs and stuff like that, and I was just out competed there, right? Like I was not left with any option. And like my time at Axis Bank did help me get some of the shortlists, but
Hmm.
then I just generally felt underqualified to actually fight against fight for these seats for the against my peers. Uh, I think that's common across the different type of profiles that come in, be it finance, be it consulting, be it product management, be it marketing, be it Genman. Like
Hmm.
MBA is just like the it's called a placement fair for a reason. Everybody's there to get the best mind, get the best talent that are out there,
Right.
and all of this competition does get to you in a lot of ways. But then the idea is to hold on to your own and stick to what you know, stick to what your skills are, and you'll probably get through fine.
And where did you get your, where was your internship at?
So I got an internship at Gartner. It was a product management role in Gartner. It's one of the uh, good companies that comes there, and I mean I had been really hoping that I would get an offer there. Had a good interview, but I guess with COVID, I wasn't able to actually like they had not gone through with the internship. They had rescinded the offers because of COVID. So I didn't actually get to experience, my time at Gartner. So don't know exactly what the company is all about. But yeah, during the summer placements, I had gotten through to Gartner.
Okay, got it. And how are the placements in general after that, the actual placements at IMC? First of all, where did you get after that, and what was your role, and how are the placements in general in IMC?
Yeah, so I guess to continue the story, so to say, having got my internship at Gartner
Yeah.
rescinded, I got the opportunity to work at this to intern at this place called Apollo 24/7, which is which is basically something that Apollo was trying to do, like create a uh, omni-channel platform for solving uh, online medical needs, online consultations, stuff like that. And they're very new. So I got to experience a lot of fields, a lot of, a plethora of roles, so to say. And my 2-3 months of experience there really, opened me up to a lot of experiences. And that sort of gave me a direction of the type of placements I would want going like during the placement season.
Hmm.
And so the placement at Calcutta is like it happens at the far end of the 2 year program, and I got my internship at I got my final offer at Paytm. I had a few rounds there and got a product growth role there, and yeah, I mean didn't have like it was the first interview that I gave and
Hmm.
first company that I got shortlisted was Odosa and got through there. So didn't have didn't get to like sit for other
Hmm.
placements as such.
Got it. Now, I wanted to compare the financials. So, how much did it cost you to do this whole MBA, 2 years stay and everything, versus what was the package that you, not maybe you don't have to specify the package, but I just wanted to compare the ROI if you could help us with that.
I think the cost of an MBA, I think the fees is around 20 to 23 lakhs over the course of
Hmm.
the 2 years, which covers most of the expenses. I think, like including lodging. So that is the broad expenditure. If you're going for an exchange, like add 4 5 lakhs on top of that. And outside of that, it's mainly food and beverages that are on top cost, which is around 5 to 10K per month.
Hmm.
So that is the expenditure that most students have. And in terms of ROI, I think like financing is very easily available for uh, for doing an MBA, right? You get loans, and most people opt for loans as well. And since
Yeah.
the loans are offered at a pretty cheap rate, I
Hmm.
think in the next 3 to 5 years, most people are able to pay off those loans pretty like comfortably. So not the thing to stress about the most once you're getting into one of these colleges.
Got it. So currently, can you explain us what you're doing and was MBA worth doing from your transition from, I think you were in Access Bank as a business analyst and now you are at CRED in growth department.
Hmm.
So do you think MBA was a very good channel to go through this and right now you are happy with your career?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest takeaways or one of the biggest outcomes of me doing an MBA was my ability to actually get a role like this. I mean, growth as such, at least at like both at Paytm and Cred, is a very flexible role, and you have a lot of independence. You have a lot of ownership and a lot of new things that you're learning daily. It's what I love about this is there is no set uh, structure or there's no set pattern that you have to follow. It's me having to find new ways of actually activating channels that
Hmm.
company can help the company achieve its target. And definitely, I mean, MBA gives you that holistic understanding of different domains, different lines of businesses, and those are the things that have helped me crack interviews to get into such roles. So, I mean, from that point of view, of course, MBA has been of great help. It is, of course, different case by case. I mean, I feel like I was lucky to actually be able to, use my MBA to get something that I like. And yeah.
Got it. So I'm going to not ask you any more questions from my side because I want our audience to ask as many questions as possible. You guys are giving CAT this year, so I'm sure you guys have many questions. So just ping it on the live chat and I'll go through them and we will try to help you as much as possible. A person is asking, please tell me your 10th and 12th marks and about your resume that pushed you at IMC as per you.
Hmm. So 10th and 12th, I've already
Yeah.
mentioned, was 10 CGPA and 90% in 12th. I think what really helped me at Calcutta was like the 1 year experience that I had. I mean, the projects that I got there were things that became good talking points during my interview. So, from shortlisting point of view, I think the spikes are in terms of CADs. The spikes are in terms of scores and like test scores and competitive exam scores, stuff like that. But getting the actual interview and having the right talking points, having the right uh, experience to actually navigate that interview, I think there the experience really helped.
Got it. So Harshit is asking, what are the mistakes that you think you avoided or committed while doing cat prep?
I think I have so this. I think 2018 was my second attempt at CAT. The first time I gave it, the biggest mistake that I did was just having just that option in my basket. I was not looking for anything else. I was like, yeah, I'm done with my engineering. I'm not sure what I want to do, so I'm gonna give it my all to just get into CAT and do my MBA and then figure out. I
Hmm.
think that was like there was just so much pressure and so much built up to that particular exam that I couldn't actually uh, do all that well then. But the second time around, when I was like, "ठीक है, चलो, I'll give it again." I have the other options. I'm preparing for GMAT as well. I'm trying out different, trying to get jobs at different firms as well, preparing for interviews. So all of that just basically de-risked uh, my CAT exam basically. And like I was like, even if I'm not doing all that well here, it's not going to affect my life in all that manner. होता है तो अच्छा है, नहीं होता है तो there are other things that I can look at. So that sort of helped me depressurize my exam as well, and I actually ended up doing much better than what I did the previous time. And yeah, I think
What was your score previously?
it was 98 point something.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. So Harshit is asking, will I get in trouble, any trouble regarding profile if I am from a tier 2 city college and doing BSc, but I have good academic performance?
I think um, doesn't really matter if it's tier one or tier two, as long as you have good academic records to show for yourself. Uh, those are the spikes that companies look for, especially while taking shortlists, because the Calcutta tag is look, your IIM tag is already there, right? That is helping companies give the right signal. After that, it's about how much you have made of the opportunity that you have gotten, and that is when good cards, good experience, like starts making the difference.
Got it. So next question is, okay, so someone is asking, tell about the scope of humanities students in CAT. Yeah,
What
it's
do
a
you
very
mean by
general
scope?
question. Yeah. Can you just tell us a bit detail about what you are trying to say? What CAT humanities, if they are scoring well, or what is happening that you want to ask? So I'll move on. Anjali is asking, is it too late to do MBA with 3-year work ex?
Never too late. I mean, the more the experience, the better, your chances are of actually acing interviews. You might feel that, I could have gotten better opportunities had I done it after 2 years. But if you're still, you have the enthusiasm, you have the desire to get roles that you want to work at. I think 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There are people even having worked 5 years who are doing the MBA program. So never too late. Think it just helps your case even further.
Got it. Ojas is asking, not able to score well in VARC. What to do?
Uh, I think that was the problem that I faced the first time I gave CAT. And I think, I mean, reading definitely helps, but it's a lot to do with the presence of mind that you have at that point of time as well. So, I mean, the first time I had given CAT, VRC was the first scoring point for of the three sections, and having to start when I started actually working on it, reading more frequently, and giving it more time in my daily routine, it ended up actually being the highest scoring point by the second time I gave CAT. So, I think it's about that inculcating the habit of reading, and not just for CAT. I think it has generally also helped me do better in life. So something that can help you as well.
Got it. Anupama is asking, can one get into IIM-C with 80 percentile in CAT?
I mean, not difficult. Depends on the background that you have, the diversity. Like if there are different spikes in your uh, uh, resume in your application, but I think 80 percentile is a bit on the lower side. Probably 90, 95s are, I think, the bare minimum that you should target.
Got it. Someone is asking, is internship worthful for resume?
Yeah, like if you're doing quality work, if you like I said, it's all about talking points in the interview. The more spikes you have there, the more conversations you can bring up, the more you can convince them that you have done good work and you can be of value to the employer. I mean, nothing like it. Everything that you add to your resume, where you've actually where you can actually showcase your work, you should definitely do it.
Stanley is asking, is CFA a must-do certification along with MBA Finance?
Not really. It's
Hmm.
CF. Most of the folks who like got the best offers in finance field in like during my placements were people who like, didn't have CFA. It's it's not a requirement. It's definitely a plus. There's no doubt. I mean, it's a signaling effect, right? You are showing intent. You are showing passion. You are showing the desire to actually work in such a field, but not a requirement at all.
Got it. Anish is saying actually, I am 24 and will complete my post graduation by 2023. Is it okay if I start my MBA when I am 26-year-old and complete it by 28? And as of now, I have no work experience.
I mean, again, the diversity is huge. There was one of the folks in my batch was doing a double MBA, so an MBA after an MBA, and he ended up at one of the best placement of best companies that come for placement. So, I mean, it's a very case to case dependent situation, and there is no yes or no, and what's right and what's wrong. It's about uh, doing your best and seeing where that takes you.
Got it. Anjali is asking, what sort of job should I take up now post my graduation if I want to do MBA later?
Shouldn't be the other way around. I mean, you should do the MBA should help you choose the job prospects that you want. Right now, I think the best thing you can do is try different things that you like, get a better understanding of the type of work that you can enjoy doing, and probably doing an MBA to basically escalate that to choose or get better at what you actually like end up at a place that you actually want to end up at.
Got it. Next question is, can one get into IIM-C with 66 in 12th grade?
uh, I'm not sure actually. I don't think 10th 12th marks are things that matter all that much. It's like a good checklist to have, like the basic quality checks to have in place, but not big definers. I think there is a percentage wise different, I think,
Hmm.
weightage that's given to all of these scores, and there's no cutoff as such that this is the basic that otherwise you're uh, not somebody who can get in. So yeah.
Aditya is asking, should I join a tier 2 B school if I get one this exam, or should I build my profile and go again for a top IEM next time?
Depends at what stage you are in your life right now. If you feel that getting like going through an MBA and a tier two college would help you get placements at a decent good company, and you can work your way there, you can get a better role there, and then switch to a company that you would actually want to work at uh, post your MBA in a tier one college. I think that's again a good route to take. But if you have time, I would, if you have time as an option, I would say that, use it to build your resume. You like basically don't undersell yourself. You have the potential, and if you have the right potential, the right mindset, you'll end up where you want to end up. So
That's a great answer. So Anjali is asking, backup options if one is not able to get into good MBA college.
sorry, sorry.
Any backup option if one is not able to get into good MBA college?
Yeah, dude, MBA is also a backup only of sorts. I mean, you can. It's an option out of many. It's not the end goal. It help. Like I like to think of MBA as a tool to basically navigate the navigate the journey that a bit better or a bit smarter. And I mean, if that is not an option or that is something that you're not able to do, you're still gonna go on a journey regardless, right? So I mean, plethora of options out there. Yeah, there are A lot of companies looking for good, smart people. A lot of other programs on offer at multiple different colleges. Everything is open.
Okay. I hope this gives some motivation and lessens your jittery feeling right now. So next we have Vikash asking, I'm planning to give CAT 2024. Can you please suggest me the best coaching to refer?
Uh, I mean, it's all about practice. Yeah. Coach, all the coach, like I've done coaching at, I've taken coaching at multiple places, and like the general idea is most of the structure is the same. It's more, uh, it's more structured around how you can get the best out of your time, right? Like getting the right hours, getting the hours right, getting the right sort of practice, giving the mocks consistently. I think those are the things that you have to focus on. Doesn't matter if it's a time, if it's say something else. It's more about how much commitment you can give to your project.
Got it. So Anjali is actually she asked about some you know like what job she should do before MBA. So she's specifying something. She's saying that I've done bachelor's in physics, and what job should I get which will be relevant when I do MBA?
Um, I mean, any job that you do right now would probably, would help. The MBA would help you utilize that experience and get something that you want to do. So it's not like you want to do a job to get an MBA. I mean, that's not a requirement. Uh, it's like the MBA is there to get the job that you want, not the other way around. Right?
Got it. Yes. So Anisha is asking for a CA, what will we lose out if we don't do an MBA?
Mm. I think the option of not sticking to accounting or finance, that is an option that like that is one thing that you lose out on. I know a few CAs from my batch who were just tired of the same accounting jobs that they were doing for the past 4 5 years, and MBA was a way out for them to do things of to do more diverse things, get into consulting, get into a more front facing finance jobs, stuff like that. So that is something that probably an MBA can help you do better. But I mean, it's not a guarantee that you cannot get into such roles without an MBA. I mean, the like all the opportunities are open. MBA just sort of helps you escalate it to some extent.
Got it. Anjali is asking, what is the ideal profile for getting into ABC?
Uh, I think A and B are more profile oriented. C is more generic in that sort. I mean, having a good score and uh, like I said, land of second chances. So I mean, if you're able to convince them that you can make the most of your uh, opportunity of your 2 years as an MBA, Calcutta would give you a chance. A and B, like Ahmedabad is for the ones who have always done right in their life. I mean, who have not like placed the foot wrong. And Bangalore is, I think, more around having the right work experience and knowing what you want to do, having having done having experience that basically showcases that you have the caliber and stuff like that.
Got it. Kaiman is asking, can a person with less than 1 year of work ex get into operations role after MBA?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, freshers get into it, so doesn't matter if it's 1 year or not. And like there are certain companies who have specific work criteria, but those are also flexible a lot of times. I mean, I've seen people who are edge case situations, but then having the right motivation or having the right desire to get into a role have actually done it. So there's no nose in MBA.
Next question is, in what way has the MBA contributed to you personally and professional to your personal and professional growth?
Uh, Personally, I think it has helped me. take into account other people's opinions and how, taking everybody along and getting work done. I mean, I think that is something, the amount of group projects, the amount of collaborative work that goes into actually completing the program. I think that helps a lot in like taking other people's opinion along, taking basically not being a lone wolf, right? I mean,
Hmm.
this help MBA helps you understand that other people can be of value, even if you don't think so, and basically it has helped me understand that better. And professionally, I would say again the same, having a more like a wider uh, knowledge base, having more understanding of different domains. I think that has helped navigate a lot of interviews, and that has helped a lot of uh, basically navigate a lot of conversations. If I'm in a situation where I'm not sure how to get out of, probably cases that I've done in an MBA could help me unlock certain of those problems. So yeah, that has definitely been of help.
So we have two people actually, Otaku Sama, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, and Anish, who are saying that they are general non-engineer and will complete their MCom next year, but they will be turning 25. So is it okay if I do MBA after that? And he's giving CAT this year, but expecting around 80 to 85 percentile. Should I repeat myself?
So what's the question?
Yeah, the
What's the
question
question?
is that when they'll turn 25, is it okay to do an MBA after that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's no nose to that again.
So I'm guessing you have seen people who have done this and your
Yeah,
batchmates who are successfully doing it and have passed out. Great.
like double MBAs, people with 5 years of experience, and variety of different experiences, variety of different backgrounds.
Hmm.
Like that is the type of diversity that an MBA batch usually has. So
Got
there
it.
are no strict no's.
So we have one more person actually, a bit of the same context. They are saying, is there any issue if a person getting into MBA at 26 without any experience? Because they were trying to do or get into government job exams, maybe UPSC or MPSC. So did you have any batchmates who were like that without any job experience, but they were applying for these government job profile exams?
Uh, not immediate friends, but I think generally preparing for government exams prepares you really well for most of the things that come in the
Hmm.
MBA journey, be it CAT exams, be it the interview, all of that. So I think having that experience really counts, and like having that desire to actually get into an I like to become an IAS or IPS officer or any other like coveted government roles. I think that's a very clear uh, mindset and a clear goal that you have in your head, and definitely helps with your MBA chances. There is nothing stopping you. I mean, you're just a fresher with a much better experience at life. So I think
Got it. So, Arjun, I hope that answered your question. Gaurav is asking how to justify gap years because of COVID pandemic.
uh, can you elaborate, Gaurav?
Uh, okay, so Gaurav, yeah, how to justify gap years in case of freshers because of COVID pandemic. So I guess he took a gap year after his BCom or BTech or whatever, and then because of COVID, they didn't go. Maybe didn't have any. Didn't go for CAT and MBA. So how to justify that 1 year? So what did you do in that 1 year, Gaurav? Can you just tell us that? Or 2 years or whatever it was? Maybe we can answer that. Okay, I'm going to get to the next question. Gaurav, you can just text whatever you did in that gap year and we'll answer your question. So we have Anjali asking, what is your take on having a gap year in CV? Does it create a problem in the interviews? Okay, a similar question.
Yeah, I think like they don't as such stop you from getting a short list, and definitely a conversation point that's going to come up in the interview, as
Hmm.
long as you are good at justifying it, as long as you can tell that this is a year which I used to deal with whatever uh, issue you had, or whatever, whatever different thing that you were trying to do. If it was like you working on a startup, or working on yourself, or just trying something out, like anything, as long as you are able to talk about it and be open about it, and able to convince that this is how I utilized my time, I think it's a plus. And yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Got it. So one is asking any specific strategy for quant attempt, please.
Yeah, actually, I think my strategy and what I advise to everybody giving strategy is, everybody appearing for CAT is, specifically for quant, you cannot get stuck in a question. I mean, by 30 minutes, you should be at the end of all the 34 questions that are out there. And anything where you're stuck, where you were stuck, that is when you go back and start doing that again. But there should be like a plan that you have, that by the end of 30 minutes I would have reached the end of the section, and that's when I start the second round. Because this is a mistake that I made the first time when I was giving card, that I got stuck in a question, and it was such a basic question that I just couldn't let go of it. I was like, "ये तो करके ही आगे बढ़ूंगा." And because of that, I couldn't attempt six,
Hmm.
8 questions at the very end of it. It doesn't make sense, right? You have 1 hour, you have 34 questions to attempt. I mean, you have to go through all of them. And if you're stuck, come back with a fresh mindset. Probably there's something that you were just missing at that point, and you'll unlock it. Yeah.
Got it. Our next question is there a limit for 10th and 12th marks for IIM Calcutta or IIM Ahmedabad, like IIM Ahmedabad has? Any cutoff marks? Minimum limit?
I'm not very sure what the cutoffs right now are. I think those things keep getting updated every once in a while. So probably the Calcutta website would be a better place to get that answer.
So just check it out, you'll get the answer to this. Aditya is asking, hey, I have a question regarding the final week prep. I'm scoring around 60 to 65 marks in the mocks. There are 2 or 3 instances when I scored around 90. What should I do now to actually score good?
Uh, so you 60, 65 percentile, or is it that the score?
He's saying marks in mock. Can you just clarify, Aditya, what is it? Is it percentile or score or what is it? Yeah, he'll clarify. Till then, I'll take the next question. How do I realize the level of difficulty on the day? How do I get to know if I have maximum attempts or accuracy?
You cannot. You have to wait for a couple of months to get that answer.
Okay. Next, we have 40 minutes for 22 questions in quant. What should I do? What should be the time distribution?
Sorry, didn't get it.
So, the lady is asking, she takes 40 minutes to do 22 questions in quant. Is there a time distribution that you should allot to all these 3 departments?
Oh, acha. Like when I gave CAT, I had 1 hour for every section. Like that was the like the strict limits to each section. I'm not sure if it has changed now, but if it has changed now, probably, I mean, maybe somebody who's given the exam in this particular order and scored good should be able to answer that.
Got it. Okay. So maybe we'll answer. Somebody else will come and answer this one. So Gaurav, yeah. So Gaurav is talking about the gap year. So he's just clarifying. I belong to a farmer's family, and because of COVID, there were no chances to do any job or internship. I have no option. I did not. I didn't do anything. Literally, I worked in farm for a year to help my family. How do I justify this 1 year gap?
Just like you said it now, you didn't have an option, right? You were actually working at a place to sustain your family, and doing something to help out your parents. I think that's justification enough. You don't need to say ki, why did I not slog my ass off for a year in corporate while this was a requirement that I couldn't let go of. So not something that you have to stress too much over. Just be honest, and you should be fine.
Yeah. So Gaurav, I hope that helped you. And yeah, it justifies it. Like whatever you said makes sense. So yeah, we'll take up the next question. Anish is saying I'm getting around 70 to 83 percentile in Cat King mocks, and score is around 48 to 55. What are the ups and downs in actual Cat score?
On the D day, I mean, it could very well go up. It could very well go down.
Yeah.
Generally, I feel that questions are like the level of CAT versus the level of mocks. CAT is on the easier side. Mocks prepare you to do better than like prepare you to be better than what is generally asked at CAT. And but then percentile is a relative score. So I
Mm.
mean, if it's easier for you, it's gonna be easier for other folks who are doing better than you as well right now. But generally, I've seen that most people score better at CAT than they do at mock, because mocks are given by people who are who are preparing for it religiously or preparing for it vigorously, and the cohort that you get there is more focused on scoring well, whereas CAT would have the entire user base, the entire applicant base, and that is probably the reason why generally people tend to do better there.
Got it. So we have Anjali asking, is there any way to get into product management without doing product manager without doing MBA?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the people at CRED where I'm currently working and the product managers there don't have an MBA actually, and they just started off as say an APM role or a software engineer role, and then just moved into an moved into APM or product post that, and something that clearly a lot of people have been doing for a while. A lot of people come for MBA also as product managers, and with the idea of getting into say better companies or say a different role. So definitely not a limitation.
Good. I hope that's a relief to hear, Anjali. So we have Aditya. Yeah, so Aditya was asking, he had a big question regarding, yeah, he got 60 to 65 marks in mocks, and after in two, three instances, he also scored 90. So these are marks, and his actual percentile is lying between around 85 to 90 percentiles in mock. So what was the question? The question was, what should I do now to actually score good?
Uh, I mean, I guess it's just generally improving your score on a daily basis,
Hmm.
and not sure if 1 week is enough to actually do that. I mean, you give your exam with the mindset that this is enough. You have done all the best you can, and basis the feed, basis how you do, maybe prepare better. Say next time.
Hmm.
The general advice for getting better at it is reevaluating the exams that you've already given, the mocks that you have uh, participated in or that you've given. See where you're doing bad, work more on those weaker areas, and uh, like, incremental improvements that you see on the mocks is what is the best is the best place to actually start off improving your score.
Got it. So I'm taking up the last question for this webinar. She's asking, what should be the target score and attempt for 99 percentile?
Sorry, target. Sorry,
Score. So the target score and attempt for 99 percentile.
I didn't get the question.
So in these VARC, quant and everything, so the scores that you get, the marks.
Mhm.
So she's asking what should be the ideal marks that a person can get into 99 percentile.
Oh, I would say just do your best. I mean, that
Yeah.
is the hope. There are no. I think 80 is the cutoff for any section that you have to score
Hmm.
higher than that to qualify. But I mean, I think 95 plus if you have in each section,
Hmm.
then overall, it's very likely that you'll end up at the higher 90. Like you'll end up crossing the 99s. But these are small details. I feel more focus should be more on doing your best. Like you wouldn't get much value out of obsessing over these numbers. As long as you're performing your best, you probably uh, gonna cross the 99% threshold. That's there.
Great. So I'm going to end this session right now. And thank you so much, Kaushal, for your time, for all your sharing your experience, for actually guiding these people throughout for 1 hour. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Sunandini, for hosting this. Thanks everybody for giving your time, and it's very valuable to me as well to actually be of value to you guys. And yeah, thanks for the platform. I'm inside. I am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.